Made with love by Clover.
Welcome back, Mzansi. Now, choc chip cookies are a hit in any household. And today we're showing you a quick and easy recipe that you will need to make in batches with our Clover Bliss chocolate skillet cookie. Now, this ooey gooey bake is best enjoyed straight from the oven, and we love ours with vanilla ice cream and a generous drizzle of Clover Bliss medium cream dairy dessert. Now, guys, I don't know if you love chocolate or choc chip cookies.
Of course.
Or
How much chocolate?
Of course.
This is the kind of chocolate I want in my kitchen, Sissy. You don't understand. It's lacking, but I'm glad that you brought the juice.
Yeah, I figured we needed to embellish.
Thank you so much. So to start off our amazing choc chip skillet cookie, all we need is, we've got some ingredients here. I've got the wet ingredients, I'll go through that now. But for the dry ingredients, you've got some flour, salt, baking powder, and some cornstarch. I'll give the chocolate of the day the easiest job to do. All you'll be doing is just buttering up our pan over there, just with the chocolate. Yeah, just make sure that
with the butter, just
make sure that it doesn't stick, because if you want to plop it out of the baking tray, you can always do so. If not, I prefer to actually enjoy it in there, because I mean, why not?
Cool.
And then on my side, I've got the wet ingredients, which is basically some sugar, butter, egg, vanilla essence, and then these choc chip cookies are actually going to go into that dry batter that you're going to be making over there. So you can actually get started. Get your
How
hands
much
dirty.
butter should I put on?
Just a little bit, just to brush it up with iskastika.
Do I start with the flour?
Just go in, girl. Plop it all in. Now, the one thing I love about this kind of recipe is that mostly when you're baking, you're required to sift the flour, sift all the dry ingredients. This is not necessary, because we want that ooey gooiness, so we want it to be nice and together, you see? And
so the salt?
Just a pinch, Mama. Just a little bit. You see, this is the benefit of having such nails. I don't know if you guys will agree. But yeah, when you're in your home kitchen, that's what you do. You don't have to worry about measurements. You just, that's the pinch right there.
Backboard?
Baking powder and everything else you can go in with exactly as
the whole thing?
The whole thing.
We want the whole
thing. And then on my side, I've got some butter and sugar that I need to cream together. This first step is very important with the mixture, to make sure that it gets binded together. But before I actually get into that, I want to touch on what you've just added there. You've added flour and corn flour.
Okay.
So most people wouldn't understand why you've got corn flour if you've already got flour in the batter.
Yeah.
The reason for that is, I don't know if you've had choc chip cookies before.
I have.
And if you had, I know the one problem we have with choc chip cookies is that either they're too hard and they're not nice and gooey in the center, or they're basically not a biscuit, it's just a rock that you're chewing on, and we don't want that.
No.
So we want that nice little crust on the outside, and then the ooey gooiness on the center. So that's what the inside, that's what the corn flour basically does.
Okay.
You're learning, no?
You live and learn.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about
I'm
it.
ready. I'm ready.
Do you spend time in the kitchen though?
I do, but not a lot.
Not a lot.
Yeah.
Well, there's a little person now, so you will be there 24/7, whether you like it or not.
And it's a boy, so
I know exactly what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. And we're not done out. You mentioned something about you and being in the kitchen and like.
Yeah, that's for the future.
That's for the future?
Yeah.
Well, the future starts today.
Let's get it. I'm ready. Yeah, I mean, right now I just make like the basics, you know what I mean? Eggs.
Oh, it is not basic. It's just it's really
okay, fine.
It's not that deep.
Meat I can make like a basic meal.
Yeah.
But I want to take it to another level.
But I guess the future starts now, because if you want to cook for her, then you must.
We're ready now.
Okay, I know. I'm happy about that. So into this mixture that I've had here, I added 1 egg, just to obviously make sure it binds together.
Okay.
And then all that happens now is I add some vanilla essence. Can I ask you just to mix that mixture that you've made over there?
Do I use this spoon?
Yebo. Spatula.
Spatula.
Yeah, so basically now all that happens is we've got the dry ingredients, we've got the wet ingredients. I don't like to add my choc chips before, into the batter once it's already mixed.
Okay.
The reason for that is that the choc chips will basically just sink to the bottom, and you don't want that. You want to be able to see them, Anit.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you just to, let me actually save up a couple, because you still want some at the top. You can put all of those into that batter, into that flour.
It's definitely going to be ooey goes. It's definitely going to be ooey goes.
This is the...
It's a choc chip.
Okay.
Yes, chocolate chips. So I don't know.
Ancestors.
I don't know if you're a fan of chocolate, but if you don't want chocolate, you could always replace it perhaps with berries or dried fruits.
Nice.
Anything like that. It's completely up to you. But yeah, we are speaking choc chip today, so we're keeping it standard. And into my wet batter, all I'm adding again is our star of the day, which was our Clover Bliss medium cream dessert. This adds that additional gooiness that we want in the center. of the cookie. I'm going to just mix this all up. I can see you guys are watching me. They're thinking that this is basically it, guys. That's the recipe.
Are you
Oh,
serious?
because we're waiting for...
I'm just thinking something magical is going to happen. Something...
This is the magic. You can pass me the dry ingredients, and then, Donald, you can also pass me the
butter?
nicely battered baking tray. Well done, sir. I don't think anything is...
Do you like it like that?
The only thing you're battering this well is probably the ladies when they listen to your music.
Well, I mean... Well.
I can't deny that.
All right, awesome. So this is basically it, guys. Our cookie dough is done. Wow. Most times, if you were to make a cookie dough, you'd have to make this in batches. And I would normally suggest whenever you make this mixture, put it in the fridge, or you can even freeze it. Obviously, if you're making cookies, freeze it in individual cookie batches. But if you're making this big one, you can just roll it out, put it into a baking tray, cling wrap, put it in the fridge or freezer. The reason for that is that if you bake it immediately, it basically becomes too runny, you know, and it just goes all over the pan. So to get it nicely into that pan like we've got there, let it
For how long?
At least chill it for an hour so that it's got that, it holds its form. And then once it's done, you go into the oven at 180 degrees. Depending on how big your batch is, you can go anywhere from 20 to 25 minutes.
Okay.
And also if you want it golden brown on the outside, you can do that as well. We go into our batter, into our baking tray. This goes and bakes at 180 degrees. And I've got like extra chocolate.
What's the butter for? What I was doing now?
It's basically
non-stick.
Yeah, if you want to plop it out, you've baked it, it's done, and you want to take it out, which I don't suggest. I always suggest just eating it from there. Let it take it out of there, let it cool down, and then it's ready. But I'm going to put some ice cream onto our already made dessert here, because this is done. All we do, the finishing touches, this is what it looks like when it comes out of the oven, nicely baked. We add more chocolate to the already chocolatey gooiness.
My good.
And some ice cream, which I also always suggest use a very hot ice cream scoop so you can scoop it on nicely onto your dessert. And Donald, I hear you've got a bit of a sweet tooth, so I think I might be speaking to you.
So I try to stay away, but it's hard.
It is. I don't blame you. I've been doing a battle back and forth with myself in the gym, and then I go to the gym and then I eat chocolate.
Hey,
Yo, brah, it's a...
Better choose a struggle, girl.
That's a tough one.
It's a huge struggle.
Can't have them both.
Now, this is what I call double the indulgence. Nice. But to get the recipe, go to afternoonexpress.co.za. And in case you missed it, here's a quick recap.
Made with love by Clover.